Hey, this is Matt once again. What about to another video? Another paid request, this time for Andrew. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting pretty much any type of videos, topics, reactions, commentaries, what have you, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And Andrew wanted me to do a commentary on Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2. Which I gotta be honest, is my favorite of the franchise. I do like the first film, but with this one, it's you take the best parts of the first film, and then you have the one, the only Eric Freeman, which I truly enjoy his performance in this. But we'll get into that. So, pause the beginning. 3, 2, 1, pressing play. Silent Night Releasing Corporation presents. Now, for those who don't know, you probably do if you're watching this, Silent Night Deadly Night Part 1 actually did a good job building up elements of a character, the trauma this kid went through, seeing his parents get killed because of a criminal, a robber that wore a Santa suit. All these other elements that built up to this kid having a total mental breakdown when he was an adult. And despite what people want to say, Silent Night Deadly Night actually did tell a story with a nice build-up. And people always talk about how these type of slasher films never have build-up of character, but that film did. And I thought it was pretty damn good. Now, as that movie got released, it was only in theaters briefly because people got pissed saying, oh, you're showing this advertisement and kids are thinking Santa Claus is a killer. I'm like, well, this isn't Santa Claus. It's someone dressed up in a suit. But parents and many people complained, and it got some business and money for the movie, but very quickly got cut down, as in taken out of theaters, and then really found a life on VHS. I find it funny that one of the big detractors was Mickey Rooney, who then went on to star in Silent Night Deadly Night Part 5, the toy maker. So, sometime later, because of the success of that on video, let's do a sequel. But if we understand, the initial idea for the sequel was just to literally re-edit the film, release it, so it get I guess more of a proper release in theaters, but we re-edit it and call it Part 2, so people are thinking they've seen a Part 2, but it's really Part 1, and hey, this time you get to see it in theaters, because we didn't have much of a release in theaters the first time, which maybe go, why didn't you just re-release the first one? But I guess they thought, well, if we call it Part 2, maybe they'll interest people more. But then the makers of this film said, well, can we do a bit more? Like, shoot some original footage? So there's, I don't know if it's 30 minutes or so of the footage from the first film, and then, or maybe 40. And then the other half is this type of footage with the one, the only Eric Freeman, which is unique performance. Okay, is it a, quote, good performance? In all sincerity, no. But at the same time, it is such an entertaining performance that honestly, legitimately, is great to watch. Because what do you want to call it? There is commitment there. And with the crazy eyebrows and the type of performance you want to mimic, and in a weird way, it works for this type of film. That definitely has a ton in its cheek with kills a la someone getting stabbed with an umbrella and things of that nature. Or the person, oh, thank you for running over that guy. Or the lady going, uh-oh, when he's going to attack her. There's obviously a sense of humor involved Now, that's not to say that Eric Freeman, did this on purpose to purposely ham it up, but in a weird way that worked out better. Just how many times that people do try to ham it up and they come off as cringeworthy and unfunny. It's like the difference between if you see Samurai Cop 1, but it wasn't done on purpose like that, so it makes it a bit funnier. But then Samurai Cop 2 and films of that nature, Sharknado, they purposely try to, look how funny we are, and then it comes off as the opposite. In a weird way, what makes this performance good is it might be bad, but there's a sincerity to it that makes it charming. And again, every moment with Eric Freeman I love. The first line, "Fuck off, Doc." Now, this did get a pretty good special edition, and I had to give credits due to Justin Beam. I mean, I've talked a bit of crap of him because I do prefer Michael Felcher in terms of dealing with special features. But they did edit, and with him directing, a really good documentary on this film on the Blu-ray that's like an hour and 14 minutes. And they got like everybody. They got this guy who plays the doctor, the psychiatrist. They got Eric Freeman himself. They got the director. They even get the guy who played the cop who gets himself shot in the head. They play, I forget the actress's name, but she was Robin in Friday the 13th Part 7. She's in this as the potential girlfriend of Eric Freeman. No, you didn't say the magic word. But they got a lot of, and it's well edited. The shit. Give me some water. Damn it. I'm going to say the running time is almost as long as the movie. So. Which is pretty interesting. Which in a way is crazy that, April Fool's Day from 1986 could not get really much of anything in terms of special features, which is one of the reasons I will not pick up that Blu-ray. But this gets an hour and 14-minute documentary, but at the same time it's a really good one and really interesting to see how it was made, and the people involved seem very sincere. And Eric Freeman seems like a good guy too. Like the last bit of the documentary where he goes, "I wouldn't be here without the fans." And you hear the people go cut, but I guess the camera kept rolling, and like he kind of looks down, and I swear you see like his eyes glisten, and it's like I said, very sincere. He really means that. And there's a good guy that I've talked to quite a few times, Pizzow, great guy on YouTube. And Eric Freeman goes on his channel every once in a while. I think like a month ago he was on his channel during Christmas time, and I think it seems like he's become friends with Pizzow, and I think that's really cool too. He seems like a very good, down-to-earth guy. Of course, this is footage from the first film. Of course, how Eric Freeman can remember all this shit when he's a baby. But they do mention that. And he says, "I was there." But yeah, and this is footage from the first, which was part of the agreement. Like part of the agreement from the producers to get the money was that you have to use this amount of footage. And I'm sure they're like, "It's supposed to be more of our footage, not more of yours." But I'll say this here, this is much better than The Hidden 2, which had that bit where they were using footage from the first movie. This is a much more entertaining film. And that's the thing, is like this has sort of the best bits of Silent Night, Deadly Night, with this whole inciting incident where the parents get killed. Does this guy here robbed a store? Which is weird because you see that store robbery in a movie that Eric Freeman's watching. So that's why you're not seeing it here, because that's used later. I didn't like how the baby would know all this. I mean, I don't know anyone that remembers this much when they're a baby, but at the end he just says, I was there. But it's like, how would he know about some of these killings that the guy in the first film did? Because he wasn't there for them. But it's just, you're not supposed to think about that stuff. So again, it's kind of like you get to see all the best bits of the first film, and then you get to see the uniqueness of Eric Freeman in this film. So again, it's kind of like a weird best of both worlds in entertainment. And at the end of the day, that's what films are meant to be. They're meant to be entertaining. I mean, Eric Freeman's in a weird, like a hypnotic performance. It was a long time ago. How do you possibly remember all that? It was because I was there. Well, that says it, Now, of course, I mean, the plot of the film is this is Ricky, who at the end of the first film said punish, and the younger brother of the killer in the first movie. You're in a hurry, Doc? Wasting your valuable time. Hey, what are you doing, Doc? I hated that fucking place. Yeah, but I love it. Didn't think this is... Yeah, there's going to be more footage of the first movie. Well, little boys growing... And this is what I'm talking about with the first movie, is that there is a build-up to the story. Because it's quite a while where it's like, this is him as a kid, then this is him as an older kid. This is his psyche of what he feels about Christmas, what he feels about Santa. And, just really hating these nuns where they just don't get what's in this kid's head. Now, I forget this actress's name who plays Mother Superior, but I remember also in Predator 2, she was the scientist that's looked at, like, doctor that's looked at this weapon. Well, it's very thin. I see nothing here on the periodic table. Examining a weapon that Danny Glover gives her. She's been in other films too. Guessing they didn't have the money to bring her back, because that's why they put someone in very weird makeup effect later on to hide that it's not the same actress. I guess, something happens that, what people wanted to see in the first film is that she gets her comeuppance in the second film. It just would have been more of impactful if it was the same actress for that continuity, but I mean, I'm thinking of continuity in Silent Night, Deadly Night 2. I definitely enjoy this more than the ones after it, because Part 3, I would say, is the worst. Because that film is insanely boring. You got Bill Moseley, who I guess he's trying to play Eric Freeman's part in this, Ricky. He's got a salad bowl thing on his head. It's supposed to be his brain in it. He has no dialogue except maybe one or two lines near the end. And he's walking around like a zombie. And that film is just insanely boring. Part 4 doesn't feel like it's... I remember there's worms and bugs and Clint Howard. Brian Yuzna was a part of it, who produced Reanimator. And then Part 5 is Mickey Rooney and this toy fat, what the hell it was, and his son Pino, and take on Pinocchio, and Pino's obsessed with his mother. Does I don't know. Pino likes MILFs. I don't know. Did you tell? I mean, I haven't. Someone sent me the Blu-ray of that. I haven't looked at the features, but I would not be surprised if there's info of that wasn't meant to be Silent Night, Deadly Night 5, and it turned into that. This is a kind of a Christmas theme. But again, this is all footage from the previous film. Ted learns a little bit about Sears, and reminds him a bit of a traumatic experience with his mom, and gets the idea here that this type of behavior is punishment. And it seems like, well, that's Mother Superior says that's the right way. She says that's the right thing. That those type of thoughts and deviant thoughts means punishment. There's Ricky. No, he's not. Take it back. I try to remember if... Yeah, okay. Never mind. When we do something naughty, we're always caught. And then we are punished. I did think this actress in the first film did a really good job. And as I said, it has a legitimate build-up of the character psychologically. And it's amazing that Chris just ignore that. It's like they reviewed the advertising and not the movie. Because they talk about how Sasha films never have build-up and stuff, and yet this did. Pretty much the first chunk of this is Eric Freeman telling this story in order to get the requisite footage in there. I feel sorry for you. Yeah. You're shrink number 13. Is an unlucky number, Doc. I don't sleep. I can't do it nearly as good as him. I'm not even doing that in a mocking way. I'm doing it I just really do sincerely like it. It's like, if you don't be good, you better be good. If you don't be bad, you better be entertaining and have an it factor. And I think Eric Freeman did have that it factor. And apparently in the documentary he mentioned how for years people were looking for him and he just didn't know about it. And then I'm sure, he didn't say this, but I'm sure when he first heard this was going on, I was like, oh man, these motherfuckers are making fun of me and talking shit about me, and I don't want to deal with this shit. Yeah, I did it. I was so bad, right? And there's all these fucking lists that, you know, the worst acting of all time, and I'm number 1 or number 5 or number 10, and I don't want to hear this shit. I already beat myself over it. You know, I had bigger plans. I wanted to be an actor in other movies. Didn't happen. You know, I barely got anything but this poster for the film. Yeah, that kid had a good right cross on that Santa. And it always made you so pissed off with the nuns, with the Mother Superior. Like, it's easily to see why this kid would be freaked out. I mean, again, your parents got killed by someone in Santa, so like, why are you pushing it? It's always pissed me off about Mother Superior. She's the one that made him that way, really. That's why, you know, gets her comeuppance later, kind of cheer for it. Does her abusive nature help cause that kid to become what he did in the first movie? But yeah, I mean, when you're tasked with this, that the producers are not going to care how good it is. They just want it in the can for release. It's not art, just get it done. That was what the director was told. And that's the thing, yeah, with Eric Freeman, the thing with the eyebrows. I'm guessing that was an unintentional thing. Like, just doing it, and just the eyebrows happen to have a life of their own. Okay. Red. Good choice. And the first film, I always remember this was being such a bad idea. Like, this guy gets a job, and it's a toy store, and he's doing well, but Christmas time, like, no one bothered to tell these assholes, yeah, this guy's parents got killed by a fucking guy in a Santa suit. Maybe there could have been something to tell him. Just a little something. Just a little something. I don't know why that store owner always reminds me of Gomer Pyle. It's not, but I always remember Gomer Pyle. But the acting's pretty good in the first movie as well. There is a interview on YouTube with actually the two brothers, the guy from this movie and Eric Freeman. I mean, the interviewer sucks. I guess it took place in London or something. And the interviewer sucks. I mean, I wish it was a better. I wish it was Pizzow. Like, Pizzow would have been a much better the interviewer than this jamoke. Because the interviewer's like got short shorts with his flabby legs, and he's got his fucking one leg over the other, and he's got things like this, and fucking guy, man. And then the crowd was dead. Because, I don't know, that crowd seemed like it sucked. I don't know. Felt bad because, wow, you get these two guys, like the star of the first one and the star of the second movie in the same room. That's really cool. Should have been in the U.S. Should have been at, like, and should have had Pizzow do the interview. Pizzow would have asked a lot better questions, I'll tell you that much. I don't know if Pizzow ever see this. But if you ever do see it, you would have been a lot fucking better than that fucking guy. Again, if you type in Eric Freeman interview, you'll find it. It's a picture again of him and this guy here from the first movie. But man, the crowd was dead for some reason. And the interviewer asking the questions, asked shit questions, and just, again, put some pants on, stop crossing your legs, this ain't the basic instinct, okay? God, fucking some people, man. Anyway, that's just my thoughts on it. I'm sure people seeing this for the first time, they're going, what the fuck, like, is this the whole movie, just seeing the first movie again? And, you know, that's why a lot of people were pissed off. And I guess you can't blame them because, I mean, it's not like a Friday the 13th sequel. There's maybe a couple minutes at the beginning of a, like you see a little bit of the ending of the first film in part 2. You see a little bit of recap at the beginning of part, was it part 4? Also in part 7. That's like, again, 2 minutes at most. But it's not like Friday the 13th Part 7 had 30 minutes of Part 6, you know, shown. But I mean, Eric Freeman is the main, only #1 thing that gets this guy a cult following. Of course, because of Garbage Day, which I know Eric Freeman doesn't like. Which I understand. I mean, it became famous, but it became famous because people saying how bad of an actor you are. So I can understand where, you know, he's glad that people care, and he's glad that, you know, you're noticed for something, that people are fans. But again, the fact that, you know, you wanted to be an actor, and then this movie happens, it didn't do anything, and then you're known. I'm sure his reaction was he was known as a joke. And sadly, that was true. People just made fun of him, and worst actor ever, and I mean, he'll never see this, but at least you're damn memorable. There's a lot of fucking performances out there that are just boring, wooden, dull, unmemorable. You'll forget them a day later or a week later. From countless direct-to-video movies, streaming movies, even theatrical movies, there's a lot of performances that you don't remember. You remember this performance. And you know what? At least that's something. I haven't listened to the commentary on these in a long time. One's older commentary, and they even mention like we don't know what happened to Eric Freeman. And then there's a newer commentary that has the director, the guy who plays his doctor, and Eric Freeman. I have to wonder what their reaction is. For like 10 minutes they're watching the first movie again. Again, how does he remember these murders when he wasn't there? Like, he wasn't there to see his brother shoot a bow and arrow and the sex scene here and stuff. Or this here with the Linnea Quigley's death. Of course, Linnea Quigley. I wonder if that means do they not get paid for this movie as well? Since is their footage being used? I guess not. I don't know how that works. So none of these actors get paid for any of the profits from this film since their faces and everything else is being used? I guess not. You forget how much nudity the first one has. A decent amount of nudity. That's a pretty good axe throw. This is definitely one of the more unique deaths, especially in this movie, is impalement with antlers. And very, very unique. Yeah, that's definitely cut down. Because when the first film got on Blu-ray, you do see more of the uncut version where you see it go into the skin. I think you see it come out of her stomach or something, the antlers. But that scene's definitely extended in the Silent Night Deadly Night 1 director's cut. I think, both of these, I believe, are Scream Factory. This guy enters the room, but the way he enters the room, there's no way he would miss this girl, because it'd be like me entering the room here, but then the body's like right here, and for some reason, I have no peripheral vision. Now, this guy's doing a good job. I mean, hit him in the face, but no one tries to call right in the same house. Not make sure the guy's dead or anything of the sort. Just literally, I even tried to go to another house. But yeah, I mean, you pretty much get all the death scenes in this film, and even a bit of the build-up of the character. Go out the window, good stunt. Jump through the window. Oh no, they deserved it, but no one understood. Not even the police. And how would they know how would he know what the cops are doing? How would Eric Freeman know? Yeah, this is like a fake Santa. They almost kill, and it's the girl's daddy. Which I always liked this scene, because like, how the hell would Eric Freeman know about this? He's like, Daddy. I think it's the little girl's reaction. I don't know why. I just like that little girl's reaction. Daddy. Just something about that is like endearing. Where, you know, a father trying to do that for his daughter, and then the cops fucked it up. You all fucked it up. You fucking jamotes, you fucked it up. He knew the roads, the shortcuts. He knew exactly where he was going. And nothing was going to stop him. At least not for long. I don't know why. I can't help it. I nowhere can get near that, but I mean, if I could be Earle Freeman, I'd be down for it. Of course, if you try to do that now, it'd be like maybe, okay, he's forcing that type of performance, and it maybe won't be as sincere. I wonder if anyone's ever tried to hire him for other movies because of the cult following. Maybe not, I guess. Because it seems like it's, when I say cult following, it's mainly like the YouTube audience, YouTube generation. Films like Samurai Cop, this film, you know, things of that nature. You know, they get a cult following, but it's like a 15-minute of fame of cult following. Like, there was a point where you couldn't go anywhere without someone mentioning Garbage Day. No, I mean, you don't really hear it much anymore, now that I think about it. Same with, like, Samurai Cop stuff. You know, maybe once in a while. But I think especially in the early days of YouTube, I think, you know, the memes just was repeated so often that maybe some people got tired of it, but I still enjoy it. I remember this being like one of my favorite deaths, where this asshole gets his just desserts, being a dickhead. I think the guy jumps up, doesn't he say punish? Punish, or something like that. He cuts the guy's head off, but the body keeps going on the sled. I think that's a bit longer in the Blu-ray of the first film as well. So there's still merit to seeing the first film. To see a bit of these longer deaths. So again, merit to see the first film. Of course, I mean, as you're watching this, you probably just fast forward these parts and get to the Earle Freeman moments. If you do that, I mean, doesn't take that long to watch the film if you're fast forwarding those parts, but you would miss the Earle Freeman narration. It was superior, called the shots. Like I said, I know the problems with the film. The extensive usage of footage from the previous film. If people saw the previous film, they liked the previous film, they just go, I'll just watch the previous film. Here, they'll just, I don't know, watch the Earle Freeman stuff. Not yet. What was that? Someone had a Miss Piggy doll? With these kids with the toys? But yeah, I mean, it's a pretty good Blu-ray, and the fact of, you know, you have very extensive documentary. You have an older commentary, you got a newer commentary. I mean, you know, what more can you really say about the film? I think, yeah, this is when the cop kills the wrong person. The wrong Santa suit wearing guy. The wrong person. I mean, this he would see, because he did see the Santa get shot in front of him. Oh, that's a... One problem. There's old man Kelsey, the janitor. Poor, deaf son of a bitch. Mother Superior was pissed off. Just the cop kind of felt bad about it, too. I couldn't give a shit. I knew Billy'd take care of him. I mean, this cop would pretty much be shit out of luck anyway, because you still shot an unarmed man. I mean, this cop, if he didn't get killed by Billy, he'd be done. He'd be in jail. Because, again, you killed an unarmed guy in front of a bunch of kids. I don't care what small of a town it is. You're done. He would have been done after that day anyway. Don't care how small of a police force it is. Either the other cops would get him, the mayor would get him, or the A-team would get him. Be a Barack, just throw him against the wall. It don't matter. Now this cop gets a pretty decent death. I remember he gets the axe in the chest or whatever. Yeah, this came out in 1987, so definitely a bit later in the slasher film era. To slasher films, I mean, there are films like Halloween and stuff in the 70s, Black Christmas, but Friday the 13th, with how successful it became. I mean, Friday the 13th pretty much made more money than The Shining, and Paramount, big company, said, wow, we paid this much and it made this much? We gotta do more. And other companies, like, we want our Friday the 13th. So that's why you saw, like, every other week or every week a slasher film. And so you would get Prom Night, you would get Terror Train, you would get New Year's Evil, you would get, in a way, Mother's Day, you would get Happy Birthday to Me, My Bloody Valentine, Final Exam, and all sorts of stuff. Nice impact on the chest. Then I think you see a little bit more in the first film Blu-ray. I believe maybe a little bit longer. Can't remember. Yeah, just take that fucking snowman's head off. Fuck you, Frosty. But yeah, I mean, any studio will try to get any type of slasher film they can. You know, Visiting Hours, Halloween got a sequel in 1981, Halloween 2. Just whatever it needed to be. And it just kept going. Especially from 1980 to 1984. It was like the heyday of slashers. And after then, because there were so many, and either, you know, the quality was getting lower, the movies were getting more crappy, the blood was getting thinner, but you would get exceptions of good ones like Silent Night, Deadly Night. I liked April Fool's Day from 1986. I even liked Silent Madness. That was, what, 84? But yeah, I mean, this is 87, and you would still, I mean, see some slashers at this time. A few years later, you'd get Cutting Class with Brad Pitt. That was, what, 89? Sequels of Elm Street and Friday the 13th in 88. Elm Street 4, Friday the 13th Part 7 in 88. Didn't have, you know, a tragic figure for Billy. You know, he says Santa Claus is gone. kind of, hey, don't worry, I know I'm bad, and he's gone, so you'll be fine. We get to Ricky, and this is how the first film ended. But they changed the actor. Like, this is different. That kid was not in the first movie. Naughty. I think the kid did say naughty in the first, but that was a completely different kid. Like, as it moved out, you tell as the camera moved up, they changed it and they got a different kid. I guess they had a different kid to have a kid that kind of looks like Eric Freeman there. So, yeah, but that kid who said naughty was not at the end of the first movie. Again, sorry about my throat. So pretty much this section is where they used most of the footage of the first film, and now the second half is going to be more of their film now. The film they shot. And that's another reason why they had a new kid. The film scenes like this, they show a bit of build-up, being raised by this family, all that jazz. And now we're going to get the Real Men Wear Black. I didn't notice that t-shirt is like the Raiders football team t-shirt. And the shirt said Real Men Wear Black. Okay. Well, I guess I'm in the clear for that. So, for the first movie, it was any time he saw Santa Claus. Here, now, it's any time he saw nuns. He's having none of that. I don't know why these nuns would just be walking randomly down this street. Maybe they're going to go see, I don't know, prequel to Sister Act or something. I mean, you gotta think about it, because in the first film, it was a kid seeing Santa, someone dressed as Santa, kill his parents. Here, it's a cop and another cop killing, not just a cop, but, you know, with the reason for nuns. At least this mom knows better than the people in the first movie. She sees a bit of that and ushers him away. Sorry, I'm trying to run out of things to say because it's pretty straightforward. Yeah, they even got this guy to be interviewed for the documentary, who plays the sort of, I guess you call it, teen version of him. I don't know why, for a quick second, like without my glasses, he looks like Jeffrey Combs. Like a very young Jeffrey Combs. I don't know why. Like, in that angle there, like Jeffrey Combs from Beyond or something. And not as Dr. West, but like some of the other stuff Jeffrey Combs. I don't know why. Remind me a little bit of him. I don't know why any second now I think they're going to be in Kansas and this guy's going to go up to Fortress of Solitude. You were sent here for a reason. It wasn't to score touchdowns. It wasn't to stab people. Here it comes. So I mean, they got a good chunk of people for that documentary. I mean, that just kills me though that they could not do any amount. Why could they not do that type of job on the April Fool's Day or My Bloody Valentine? Like My Bloody Valentine Blu-ray, it's just interview, beginning, middle, end. Interview, beginning, middle, and end. Here, there's an hour and 14-minute with they blend Eric Freeman and the director and the doctor and the younger Eric Freeman and all these people in interview and blended together, like work put into it, just in Beam. But then like other films like My Bloody Valentine they don't do it. I don't understand why. What's the difference? Why don't you do it for one but you do it for the other? Makes no sense to me. No sense to me. I don't remember what years each of those Blu-rays come out. So again, without my glasses, I think that was not Bo. Either Bo Hopkins, a very young Bo Hopkins, or someone else. Or getting ready to deal with Burt Reynolds. Like this is a guy who tried to pick a fight with Burt Reynolds and Smoking the Bandit or Hooper or something. Well, if you want it, then come and get it. You're horny and you're coming fast. Buddy, you and your fucking jacket should take a hike. A blue jean jacket. Again, there's no way that you would have seen that as a kid. But, not bad editing. From one smack to the flashback to the other smack here. Again, that editing's not too bad. Naughty. Yeah, he runs this guy over and the girl like thanks him for it. God, just trying to get more beer. I don't even know what kind of beer that is, probably skunk beer. Yeah, get in your Jeep, get ready for your safari. Guess he doesn't want to leave or something. And that guy did a good job sneaking away. Or sneaking to the Jeep and just keeps running the guy over. Like hits him, went back twice, another. Run him over again. Back him up again. Oh, yeah, I thought I was going to do one more time. Now here he kind of looks like the guy in that unmade Fantastic Four movie that played Reed Richards. I forget the actor's name. There's that Roger Corman Fantastic Four movie that wasn't made, and Dr. Reed Richards. That's what he kind of looks like there. But this Strellies. Now, what's your first reaction? Thank you. You see a guy run someone over, and the first thing you know is thank you. Jesus. But I thought this was kind of a cool thing where he's thinking, should I? Nah. That contemplation of, should I go kill her? And then sort of a fighting against his will. Damn, doesn't know his... Going too fast for you, Doc? Red car. Good point. I mean, this is a guy that's killed people, and you're that psyched out that you don't know where the hell he's at in the room. Maybe don't write red car in big letters and scribble like you're in school, bored, at study hall. My old lady couldn't send me to college, so I got a job. Now we got Eric Freeman in the outside world. I think he was a bodybuilder as well, I believe. Eric Freeman. At least he's definitely in good shape when you look at his arms and stuff. I think he had a little bit of bodybuilding. I could be wrong on that, but definitely had a bit of that physique. Waiting for this guy. I will break your thumbs. I just kind of like the, I don't know, collector for the mob. I don't know what it is. Collector for... This guy's just wailing the fuck out of this guy. He's knocked him right the fuck out into the trash. And usually at first, like, the people Ricky are killing is not really, they're bad people. So it's almost like, at the begin with, he's a bit of an anti-hero. Because his younger self ran over a guy that was beating up his woman and almost, was attacking her, sexually. Then here, this guy's, beating the hell out of this other guy and just almost killed him. Threw his ass like a sack of potatoes. Slasher villain going up against the mob or something. I don't know if I've ever seen that done before. They should do that movie. Like this type of mobster guys, but you have like a slasher film, like slasher villain. Oh, there's his umbrella. That umbrella that just happens to be there. Yeah, that'll work. And... naughty. Get the point, Jack. And open up behind him as well. At least they kept the detail of the blood on the umbrella, because since it went through. But there's some films that would forget that detail. Now, I will say the Blu-ray picture quality, I'm not good at that type of stuff, like determining what's good or bad or not. But, I don't know, does the Blu-ray picture look a little bit, I don't want to say, sometimes a little bit dark. I don't know, maybe it's the way the film was shot or something, I don't know. Like, it's not dark here. But like in the previous scene, maybe it's meant to... Color scheme, I don't know if it's meant to be off or something, I don't know. Or maybe it's a little bit faded. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Think don't let him get away with it. No way. Too many people get away with shit like that. Punishment. You're really starting to get to me, Doc. You're getting real close. Eat shit. Guess that's a touchy subject. In 1987, I mean, 1987 was a pretty damn good year for movies when you look at it, where, think about it, in the same year, 1987, right? We get Lethal Weapon, we get RoboCop, and we get Predator. 3 all-time action movie classics. We don't get that type of stuff nowadays where, you know, oh, these are action movie classics. But yeah, Lethal Weapon, Predator, and fucking RoboCop. And you have stuff like Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3, The Dream Warriors, and man, it's pretty damn good year. Now Jennifer here, again, I'm bad with names. This is an actress who would soon after be in Friday the 13th Part 7, The New Blood. I think she played the character Robin in that. I like Part 7, The New Blood. I think she's the person, I could be wrong, I think she's the person that gets thrown through the window to her death. I think that's her. Could be wrong. I know she'll like go to conventions, sign autographs, and that's how she found out about the cult following. Is that at one day doing one of these conventions, signing Friday the 13th, people all of a sudden kept bringing her stuff from this movie, and she's like, "What? Garbage Day? What's that?" Like, you know, she didn't remember, and then found out it was this, you know, cult following with the online community. Ew. I say that because I saw her breast and it looked like there was a big old, like, blue vein. Yeah, there's like a... I mean, it's still a beautiful lady. I'm just saying that I was just taken aback because her, like, titty has, like, this big blue vein. Like... Although, hell, she looks a lot better than me, so who am I to complain? Beautiful lady. Seems like a very nice lady, too. Seems like a very nice lady on the interview. And that you could tell the bodybuilding there. Look at that, 6 pack and all, almost an 8 pack. On the documentary, they mentioned that the other guy up for this role was David Heavener. I do recognize him from a series of movies. He probably would have given more of a maybe intimidating performance, but again, what makes this film a cult film is because of Eric Freeman and his performance. And it would have been nice to see him in. I mean, he is in like another like maybe like action film, but it's very much small supporting role, I think. And maybe an episode or two of TV, but not a whole lot. But it would have been great to have him star in other movies. Sadly, we missed out. But this is like the people he's killing at first, it's like you could relate to, and or again like a weird fantasy anti-hero, like that asshole that won't stop talking in the theater. Oh, this is like one of the smallest movie theaters I've ever seen. This is like a private screening type of theater. But I mean, I guess if it's small a theater venture, and sorry about my body. Even my throat was getting pissed off at that guy. Won't shut the hell up. This guy, means well. As in, seems like things are gonna work out. Love story. Got that T-shirt. And those type of T-shirts, you would see a lot of. I don't know. When I think of people wearing those T-shirts that Ricky, Eric Freeman's wearing, I always think they're golfing or something. Yeah, but this guy just won't shut up. And this guy's like, I'm ready. Talk about being meta. A guy dresses up as a Santa and kills people. And yeah, that is a shot from the first movie. Punish. This is what I'm talking about with the sense of humor as well. So it's weird that you're showing. Well, we didn't see this footage. I mean, that is. You know what it is. Chip. Oh my god, man. Fuck out of your chip. Go back to, I don't know, Pretty in Pink or wherever movie you belong in. That's a crazy hairdo the guy has. But the whole idea, they're watching a movie that, I mean, maybe in this universe, like, there was a movie made of the events of the first movie. Could have been. But it's definitely feel like, it's not on purpose, it feels very meta about it, though. A movie made that could have been maybe based on his brother. Yeah, Chip, fuck off. She's saying fuck off, Chip. Go find Dale and rescue some rangers, whatever the fuck. Piss off. You don't break your nose and break your face. Oh yeah, this guy, like, I think that's maybe the director or someone. This is clearly like a cartoon thing. And they go in, they meet the big bad dog, in this case, Ricky here. Naughty. Like that right there, I mean, that's clearly like meant for comedic take on it. Which I mean, in the interview on the documentary, the director mentioned how at first, which this would have been a bad idea, that when he got the job to re-edit, he was going to edit all the violence out of the first movie and that footage because he thought it was a mean movie. I'm like, well, it's telling a story that's not meant to be nice. Like, it's a legitimate purpose. But even he admitted that that would be a bad idea, so... I mean, that movie was already edited down, and the uncut version was released on the Blu-ray from Stream Factory, which I do have that one. So I guess technically I have all the films on Blu-ray. 1 and 2 by themselves, and nice guy Corey sent me 3, 4, and 5. He wants me to do a review of the features. So I'll do that sometime when I get time to watch them. I'm beginning to like this movie. Ah, there's the blue sweater. You know what's coming next. Soon it's going to be the garbage day. Could you just imagine how many people have fucking come up to him and say garbage day as if they're the first person or only person to have said it? Yeah, okay, yeah. This guy here, I mean, the way he's dressed, was he from Archie Comics? Gonna meet up with Jughead? It's like, you can't really blame him for the people he fucking kills so far. That's what makes it kind of interesting in a weird way. That's enough. I said, that's enough. Listen, bud, that's what she said when I fucked her brains out in the Betsy of old Red here. Yeah, he ain't having it. Talk about a fun death scene. Punish. Open wide. Need some jolt in your life. Kind of a cool effect here too. The sunglasses exploding. There you go. Yeah, I think that's a pretty cool effect. Punish. That's what I'm talking about. This big gulp are going, uh-oh. That's very cartoon-like. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. It is very, like, outlandish. It's just the way, like, uh-oh, there's Barney Fife. Fighting Mayberry. Where's Opie Taylor? This guy is absolutely Barney Fife. Waiting for the Andy Griffith Show thing to pop up. And they interviewed this guy, which is cool. They actually got this guy in the interview. And he talks about how the effect was done, where they had a string and they pull it to reveal the bullet hole. And that's crazy that a low-budget film like this can do a bullet hole in a head, but these big-budget action films can't do that. They gotta do CGI. Yeah. You know, like, that looks pretty good for a bullet hole. It's like, apparently like a string you pull out. They can do it for a low-budget film like this, but bigger budget, they need CGI. Go figure. We get the scene. He's like laughing. He's like, without the cough. Just go on a rampage. Probably one of the reasons why the VHS had... Motherfucker. One of the reasons why the VHS had like a gun on the cover. But I mean, if you get the Blu-ray, it's definitely... I like the Blu-ray cover better. Here's the scene that made this a cult film. Garbage Day. Boom. Which I know he admitted that he's not a big fan of the scene. I think because, you know, again, he knows it's like an over-the-top performance. And it gets referenced so many times, I'm sure he gets tired of hearing about it. But I mean, it is, remember, you know, it's not the line. I mean, it's a crazy line, but it's the reading. Garbage Day, you know. That's okay. Apparently this girl's deaf because she can't hear bullets. Like, she didn't hear any of the shooting going on. So shot the guy called motherfucker. Shot the Garbage Day. Shooting this guy. Now, I think it's another guy staying here. Bingo. Look at that stunt. That is insane. That is fucking insane. Like, the car goes on this. It was this far away from the guy. And I know that's a stunt guy. That far away. Holy shit. And he's like, I'm just gonna move here. Not run, just literally walk. Whatever. That's fucking epic. That's a good stunt. I mean, probably not planned for it to get that close to the guy, but holy shit. And it's like, yeah, let's just do it. And there's thoughts like maybe he should go in and chop someone up or this and that. It's like, well, this is the time we have. Walk down the street. I mean, he sells insanity. He's laughing, then he's serious, and he's laughing, and he's serious. Just a... But I mean, he's supposed to be crazy. I do like how sincere these cops are. Don't do it. Don't do it, please. Don't kill yourself. I do like the sincerity of these cops, and they really do care. Like, they don't want him to die. Reliving all that. No more bullets. No more bullets. See, I can't do it. I love it though. That was my problem. It's a shame they stopped me before I do what I really had to do. This is kind of a decent reveal where you find out the guy's dead. Yeah, I think this is a pretty decent reveal. You can imagine during his talk of the murder, that during it, like when he was talking about choking the lady, this is probably when he killed this guy. I know who's to blame. No more film. Or, I mean, film. No more tape. I remember reading somewhere that this guy in the back, he was pissed about something, and something about he like gave a middle finger or did something, but then it was hidden, so no one could see it. I forget what the story was. But yeah, not much left of the film. I mean, what? I think there's like a pretty lengthy credit sequence. So, yeah, now I don't think there's much at all. Because I think they still didn't have enough, so it's a pretty lengthy credit sequence, I believe. So I say 14 minutes, but there'd probably be like only 4 or 5 minutes of the actual film left. But if that's the case, I mean, just to end it where I get the complaints about the film. I do. It is not the best acted movie and legitimate acting, to be fair. There's a lot of footage from the first film. For me, it's like, I would love to see even more of Eric Freeman. Either enjoy his performance or you don't. I enjoy it because I think it's highly, like, hypnotically entertaining in a way. The delivery, the gusto. It just, like, it's bad, but it's sincere, and it's, like, charming. It's a charming way, in my opinion. Yeah, this is a... I try to remember what they said, like, how she got these marks. I mean, obviously they did that again to hide who the person was, because, like, we showed footage of the person earlier. She comes back, and then I guess they figure, well, if she's starred up, then people won't put two and two together that this is not the same actress. But, you can still plainly tell. Man, those old school TVs. I remember those TVs back in the day, of having those TVs. I remember as a kid we had a TV kind of like that, where you just had, like, go up to 12. Dial channel 1, channel 2, channel 3. And growing up, that's why we only had like 4 channels. I think channel 6 was ABC. Channel... Fuck you, toy. Yeah, I think like channel 6 was ABC. I think channel 12 was CBS. I forget what was PBS. I think channel 3 was another CBS. Anyway, talking much about that stuff. But here's the shining bit. Here's Johnny. He doesn't say that. On the documentary, Eric mentioned how he would love to have done the scene, like, if he jumped on the door and the door, like, careened like a surfboard. Like, very grand entrance. But they went for this. Yeah, that makeup is not the best, especially in Blu-ray HD quality. Her face, not the best makeup. I don't know what's up with these doors. A lot of these doors back then, when they get broken open, it does look like cardboard. I don't know what it actually is, but it does look like when you break through it, it looks like you break it through cardboard. But I just assume that's just the wood. A little bit of him terrorizing this. He does get his revenge, though. Even though he just shut up, he does open his eyes, so he is alive. I guess technically it's his character in part 3, but then I know Eric did like a little video of his character in an asylum, something like that. Obviously not the same type of acting, so... It was still cool to see him. Now I just imagine if they did a Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2. Like, was it Silent Night, Deadly Night 2, Part 2. I'm surprised someone hasn't pitched that. Silent Night, Deadly Night 2, Part 2. Starring Eric Freeman, returning back as Ricky. He's slashing your holiday expectations this Christmas. Like I said, like when it shows Ricky's face there, like at times it seems like the picture quality is a bit dimmer in lighting, or maybe that's how it was on set. I don't know. That's why I wasn't sure about the transfer or not. Like, yeah, I'm not an expert on when it comes to that. I mean, to be perfectly honest, I'm on dynamic. Anyway. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely not much left after this, because you don't break in, or, I mean, he's doing killer. You don't find the head. He gets shot, but then he's alive. Like I say, it would have been nice if this was the same actress. That way you didn't have to deal with this weird makeup effect and the continuity of seeing her flashback to this. I didn't either they didn't have the money, or she said no, or whatever the reason being. Yeah, I don't know. I laugh because that's like an action movie line. Naughty this. You know. I mean, that's the thing, is like the last kill, you can't really feel bad because of how awful that character was in the first movie. Even though, yes, it's a different actress. I mean, there's been plenty of other movies where it's supposed to be the same character, but it's played by a different actor or actress. I mean, there's many movies that have done that. I mean, Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Patricia Arquette, to Elm Street 4, The Dream Master with Tuesday Night. So the cop put a gun on Mother Superior? Like, he put a gun on her. Like, what did he think? There you go. Now, I know there's a story on here where, like, why is there not blood on the carpet? And the director mentioned, well, we couldn't put blood on the carpet. We weren't allowed. So that's why there's not a whole lot of blood on the carpet. I mean, he took a lot of shots. He took 2 shots and a shotgun blast. Although, I mean, look how many shots 50 Cent took, and he still got the ticking. I mean, he took quite a bit, but come on, it's Eric Freeman. He can take it. I just maybe in hope of there would be a third one with yeah, maybe in hope that there would be a third one. I'll tell you one thing, if you brought him back for a third one, it would have been much better than the actual third movie we got. And yeah, that's the film. I mean, there's like, well, I guess not that long. I guess there's 4 minutes of credits. So it's not as long as I thought. Not as long as I remembered. For some reason I thought it was like 10 minutes of credits, but no. So yeah, 80 some minutes long. Spiro Rosato, stunt coordinator. I believe Spiro Rosato's, I believe he worked on like Maniac Cop 2 and 3. Crazy stunts in that, and The Ambulance with Larry Cohen. I think he went on to work with like the Fast and Furious movies. I could be wrong on that. Chris Biggs, makeup effects. That name sounds familiar. But yeah, I mean, I understand the flaws people have with the film, but you know what? I still find it fun. I still find it entertaining. The goofball humor, Eric Freeman's performance is just a lot of fun. I mean, that's what movies at the end of the day are fun. They either make you think, feel, well, they make you feel. That's what they're supposed to do. Laugh, cry, scared, adrenaline pumped. Yeah, laugh, cry, scare, adrenaline pumping. That's the whole deal. And when a film does none of those, you know it's pretty bad. And you know, you're given this job to re-edit the first film. You know, shoot some of your own. And Eric Freeman is definitely the MVP. James L. Newman is the doctor. Elizabeth Tatum, Jennifer, that's who was in Friday the 13th Part 7, The New Blood. Chip, Kenneth Brian James. They didn't get Chip. I don't think they did. I don't think they got him. If not, I wonder what happened to him. If he's still around or not. Nuns on the Street. Wonder if they ever tried to find the guy who got shot in the garbage day scene. You know, your death, like you got shot, you know, is so popular on YouTube. And, you know, show the cast of the first Silent Night, Deadly Night. Robert Brian Wilson is the Billy. But yeah, there's an interview with Robert Brian Wilson and Eric Freeman on YouTube, and I think it was done in London or something, and the interviewer sucked ass. Oh, actually, who is the I'm gonna rewind a little bit. Who is Mother Superior? The name? Lillian Chauvin. Okay, so that's the lady who was in Predator 2 and such. Yeah, fast forward a little bit. Silent Night, Deadly Night, Part 2. But I guess this movie got some kind of business on video, because there was a Part 3 and a 4 and a 5. So I have to think it found some kind of success, I would assume. Otherwise, I don't know why they got that many. But or maybe because the success of the first one was still strong on video, so put out another sequel. But yeah, the There's a making of, hour and 14 minutes. There's interview with Christopher Biggs, makeup effects. A look at the film's location. Ricky Today, short film. I think this is the one with Eric Freeman. Yeah, he's interviewed, and it's like 7 minutes. Currently institutionalized at Waverly Psychiatric Hospital, Ogden, Utah. And he's interviewed. And there's a trailer, something called Finding Freeman. Join the hunt. I don't know what happened to this documentary. It said coming soon. And if someone can tell me, was this documentary ever released? Because I can't remember when this Blu-ray came out, but that Finding Freeman, was that ever released? Because it even says here, coming soon. Is it still coming soon? Is it coming soon still? Or did it get canceled? Does that be crazy that you advertise a documentary on a Stream Factory Blu-ray and then it never comes out? Huh. If it is out, where do you find to watch it? But anyway, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Garbage Day. Red car. Good boy.